Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Welcome to Two Women in Crypto, a weekly podcast birthed on a whim by two women who are excited about the cryptocurrency landscape and have a shared passion about empowering others to step into the digital, tokenized world of the future. We offer tips, tricks, and our own individual insights as to how to begin to navigate this shift. We are not financial advisors nor experts. We are just here to encourage you to look at the possibilities. So welcome to the future. You're right on time. Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly. How are you?
I'm well. I am well. How about you?
Whew, I am well. I am landed. I'm back home in Florida. Apparently, we had a bunch of tornadoes fly through, and it literally like flipped cars on the town next door to us. Weather's
That's
crazy. It's very usual for us to get tornadoes, but yeah,
yeah.
nuts.
I had no idea that Floridians were tornado prone.
Yes. Yeah, we get all of the disasters.
Except for earthquakes. I don't think you have earthquakes. We'll
No
claim that.
earthquakes and no blizzards.
Okay. Well, there you go. At least you missed
Mm.
the bullet, dodged the bullet on a couple of them.
Oh, real quick, just to kind of before we get into like who should be the next president of the United States, I was we're traveling home. One night we stayed in a hotel, and like I don't ever watch regular TV. I watched this whole show about sinkholes, and it's all Florida. And I was like, oh my gosh, and it just sucks up your house and it's like gone in like a second. It was like I shouldn't have watched that at like midnight.
Probably not. Probably not. Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I thought it would be fun to talk about a great candidate for the next presidential election in 2024. His
This is good.
resume is awesome. He started a cryptocurrency exchange. He hired prostitutes to bribe Chinese officials, I think a half $500 million. And I didn't know his altruism. He actually wanted to be the next president of the United States. Do you know who this person is?
Well, I do know who this person is, but I did not know the last piece. I did not know that he really wanted to be president. And drum
I was
roll,
like,
please. And it is?
Sam Bankman-Fried. Could
Aw.
you imagine? We would definitely all be eating crickets, driving Toyota Corollas, doing Adderall, and sleeping on bean bags while we use customers' funds to launder money to all of our buddies all around the world. I mean, this is nuts,
Yeah.
right? I mean, one, you can't make this stuff up anymore, but apparently there's a lot of stuff being made up on Twitter, folks. So, Kelly, you're a stickler with the scams and all these things. Do not, do not put your coins, give anyone your keys, nothing. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
Well, and it's interesting because on that point, I've been receiving these random texts like you're from crypto.com. I got a random text from supposed Gemini as well about click here, you need to add funds to whatever. You're going to lose your remaining dollars or whatever that's in your account. So it's definitely really rampant. And if you're not paying attention, I mean, it's super simple to be just in your flow and you're just like, okay, I've got another text, not even really reading. You've got to be really cautious, really, really cautious. They're sneaky
Yeah,
little bastards.
they really are. They're sneaky because I've gotten them. First of all, crypto.com is begging me to put money and make trades, right? But like, Kraken, Gemini, I got an email about MetaMask. Coinbase wants to verify my identification. We do not do any emails, and the Twitter is getting out of control. I am like ready to start looking into Noster. I want to be done. I only look at Twitter for news, like because people it's up to date, but with everything going on in the world, it's like, I don't even want to look for my news there anymore.
Well, you don't, because you really don't know what is real. I know I'm real.
Right. Well, I do research, right?
But I mean, but generalities, we don't know what is real. We really don't in today's
No.
world, and it's going to be increasingly so. So you just have to really limit your intake on a lot of things. And Twitter is one of them because number one, it's just full of nothing but absolutely horrible news. And it's like, okay, not that we shouldn't know and understand that there's things going on in the world, but you don't really know what is what, honestly.
No.
You don't.
But I do know that we're going to talk about, there's like over 1 trillion reasons why everyone should be holding some Bitcoin. At least do some research about it.
Right. None of this is financial advice, as you all know, but yes, absolutely. Even if
Right.
it's $100 worth, it's better than nothing.
Exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, I'm just thinking about, okay, obviously the world is going up a notch, right? The intensity, the war, like all of these different things. And it's like, in a case of an emergency, we want portable money. We want to be able to take our money from one place to another without it being censorship resistant. We want to be able to do peer-to-peer transactions on an open source, decentralized blockchain. And that, my friends, is what you call Bitcoin. Okay, because things can change overnight. And I don't care if you're pro this, pro that, whatever your feelings are. Kelly and I, most people, we all get up in the morning, we take a shower, unless you're the WEF and you want us to skip a shower, because I saw those billboards in New York. I hear the message. But like, we really just want, most people are the same, right? We're all going to work. We're all taking care of our families. You know what I mean? And it's just like, when it's so chaotic and it's so unstable, we want our gold, our physical gold, physical silver, and we want our Bitcoin, and we want our Bitcoin off the centralized exchanges. Because what was one of the first things that Israel did to Hamas was freeze their cryptocurrency accounts. Okay, so we want to make sure that we are protected, and having a peer-to-peer network, decentralized, outside the system, is definitely the way to go. So we could buy our goods and services. Like, there are ways to do it. What do you think about that?
No, absolutely. I think it's just really, really important to have a backup plan. Period.
Right, right. So, it's been really interesting. There's a lot of different podcasts going on. There's a Bitcoin conference happening on the Pacific coast this time. Sorry, man, I'm back. My allergies are full steam ahead. But so I'm listening to the Bitcoin conference and listening to all these different people, and it's like, some people don't believe that Bitcoin is going to evolve and maintain its decentralized, highly secure status. And then there's other people that believe that, Bitcoin is peace, Bitcoin is hope, and Bitcoin is going to help us build like a new society, a new economy. It's an emerging technology. And I just wanted to go down that rabbit hole for a brief moment, because when we think about Bitcoin, Bitcoin was created in 2009. The white paper came out. It is still a young technology. But when I look at from 2009 to today, the amount that Bitcoin has grown, and then you look at what are they building on the Bitcoin blockchain? Just like with Ethereum, they have their layer 2 networks, they have layer 3 networks. And I am hopeful, Kel, that Bitcoin is going to emerge and grow and we're going to peacefully shift into a new economy, even if it's a parallel economy for now. I do believe that people are going to shift into Bitcoin. I really truly believe that because one, you can get the Lightning Network. We talked about what was going on in Cuba last week. Now they're building on top of the network, the Lightning Network. It's called Fedemints, which is going to bring transactions down to maybe even a fraction of a penny. Okay. So when we think about that trilemma issue, decentralized, security, scalability, Bitcoin is great for decentralization, tens of thousands of nodes all across the world, highly secure, right? You have to do a 51% attack on those nodes to bring down the Bitcoin system. We're, even with BlackRock, JP Morgan, we are far away from that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I just think that even if it didn't change, it's still a store of value, right? It really looks like it's becoming digital gold. And then I'm looking at this thing called a mutiny wallet, brand new, being built on top of the Lightning Network that is censorship resistant to Apple, Google, Microsoft, all of it, all operating systems. The Mutiny, M-U-T-I-N-Y wallet is coming, and we are going to be able to do peer-to-peer transactions where they can't take it down. If I have an iPhone and I download some sort of like app from a technological standpoint, that can be a choke point. They could cut that down. That's why we got a de-Googled phone. But if you don't have a de-Googled phone, right? This is another option. And this is what I love, Kel, because there's options coming. The decentralized network is growing. But most people just live in a centralized world, but we are decentralized people. So we're learning the solutions to this problem. And the more the world is chaotic, the more intense the world gets, the more people lose out on their things, right? They're going to learn. And that's, I'm holding that light for people to shift into this society.
Yeah.
And I'm all about like structure and government, like all of it, but it's got to be for the people, right? Because when people have too much power, it's usually turns into like a big time corruption deal. And this is what we're seeing. I mean, literally Sam Bankman-Fried wanted to become president of the United States. He was literally manipulating the price of Bitcoin to keep it under $20,000.
Yeah.
It's all coming out in the court case this week. Very interesting,
There's
and
so many.
right. And the bottom line is these folks don't care about us.
Oh, no. I mean, they've got their own agenda, whatever that is. But yeah, no, they don't.
Humans are flawed. They're corruptible. So let's just base everything on math, right? Quantum physics. Let's learn about this. And, if we can follow specific rules, take that human component out of it, build this new computer system with AI, take out those human biases so that this new system, this new network of money transferring of value benefits everybody.
Absolutely.
We're going to be okay. Cheers.
Yeah, we are going to be okay. It'll be different, but we're going to be okay. And we're ready. We're ready for it.
Well, and that's why we're showing up every week and we're talking about things, and it's kind of like, it is a learning process, right? I mean, Kelly, think about when we first started to where we are now. We have learned a lot,
Yeah.
multiple different wallets, all these different platforms. We got centralized platforms, decentralized platforms, how to stake our coins, how to become our own bank. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like an exciting world to build your sovereignty. And when times are so uncertain and it looks like they're only going to become more uncertain, because when I'm looking at, okay, let's just say what are the probabilities of us going into a war supporting Israel? We've been supporting the Ukraine. Now we have Israel. Are we going to support Israel and give them money to fight the Palestinians?
I think that's already been addressed. I think they've already made their stance clear. I think there's already been quite a few dollars that have been.
So what's going to happen to the dollar?
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, like it doesn't matter. Like we have to protect ourselves. We could all be cheering or whatever your beliefs are, but at the end of the day, we created 40% more dollars in 2020 when the government told us to stay home, watch Netflix, don't worry about it. We created 40% more money into our circulating supply. Okay, millions and millions of people were going to die. And now we have inflation. Inflation isn't under control. We have high interest rates that are crushing all these smaller emerging countries that still use our dollars. So we're going to have to not raise rates anymore. And as we print more money to support Israel, we are going to go into, I don't know. I mean, I can't, I'm concerned that we're going to see hyperinflation. I haven't really said it, I don't think, until now, but the more dollars we spend, the higher inflation goes. I was listening to the Bitcoin conference. In the past 2 weeks, the United States has borrowed $500 billion in the last 2 weeks. Okay, the market cap of Bitcoin is $500 billion.
Well, it's, I think across the whole world is in an enormous state of chaos.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So again, it's just, I believe that trillions of dollars are going to come into Bitcoin because again, as this is all going on, right, Kel? What am I seeing? Oh, JP Morgan just did a collateralized loan on its Onyx system, which is a permissioned copy of Ethereum. Okay, a permissioned centralized blockchain called Onyx. JP Morgan just does a collateralized loan. Barkley jumps in with BlackRock, tokenizing bonds. Fidelity came out with a 23-page paper. Okay, digital, was it Fidelity Digital Assets? Look it up. 23-page report. Hey, this is Bitcoin. This is an altcoin. This is why Bitcoin is so great. They are prepping everyone to move into the new system. And that's the thing that I really kind of wanted to drive home today, because I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. But Kelly, remember in 2020, we printed all this money. Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank, he came out and he said, the economy is recovering, but we're recovering to an economy that's going to be more leveraged on technology. And I'm concerned that the average worker is going to be left behind, basically, is what he's saying. So if we are moving into a new economy that's being leveraged by technology, here are our two choices. We could go down the central bank digital currency route. Okay, that's what the Bank of International Settlements wants. I'm sure that's what every single government all around the world wants. Or we can shift into Bitcoin. Could you imagine what would happen if everybody just shifted their money into Bitcoin today? What a peaceful protest, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just want to drive that home because I know people are nervous, things and that. But again, it takes time. I'm not saying the dollar is going to hyperinflate today, but what I'm looking for is how much money are we going to print? How fast are we going to print it? And what happens to the price of energy, right? So let's follow the price of oil. Let's follow the price. Every time we put gas in our car, the price of gas is great right now because we've depleted all of our reserves. which is not a good situation, right? When you deplete all of your reserves, sure, let's go to war. We're in good shape, right? Our resources are so thin. So, but, and the price of what's it going to cost to keep the air conditioner on, the lights on, winter's coming, you know. So we're going to watch the price of energy, and we're going to watch how much money we print, because I'm listening to all these like really smart people, crazy macroeconomic people. And, you know, I kind of feel like we're all getting to the same place. Like we all have different theories of how this is going to happen. But when you're in a fractional reserve economy, Cal, you have to print money. It's a debt-based system. So wouldn't it make sense that we are going to have some sort of debt crisis, right?
Yeah, I mean, the writing's on the wall. It's just a matter of how it's going to play out. Yeah.
Right. So again, we're not financial advisors, but we encourage everybody, step out of the line, do some research, read the Bitcoin white paper. It's 1 page. Read it. You know, do some research. Do some research on JP Morgan, BlackRock, Fidelity, you know, look at all the different ETFs that might come about to be, you know, approved for Bitcoin. Even the Bank of International Settlements is saying that all central banks around the world is going to be able to hold a % of Bitcoin on their balance sheet.
Yeah, and if you
Really
go into your
important.
local bank, don't be surprised if they still don't know what you're talking about, or at least that's what they tell you, because it happens a lot.
Yeah. And Jim Cramer said that Bitcoin's going to crash. So I'm kind of feeling a little bullish.
No, right. Always do the opposite of what Jim Cramer says. Right. Yep. Yep, Mr. Cramer.
Yep. So, and I want to kind of put things in perspective. Like, so Lynn Alden, she's, you know, everybody should listen to her videos. She is so brilliant. And she kind of was describing Bitcoin to Fedwire.
Mm.
Okay. So Bitcoin is a decentralized open source Fedwire. Think of it that way. On a much smaller scale, Bitcoin has $500 billion. Fedwire is 1 quadrillion. 1 quadrillion. So we want to watch how Bitcoin grows. And I think a good question to ask ourselves is, do we think the dollar is going to remain the world reserve currency forever, is going to get stronger? Or do we think that Bitcoin is going to emerge and spread into our new economy?
Right. Well, I mean, you know, where you and I stand on that for sure. And we know that over the next 7 years, at least we feel that certainly the dollar will continue to lose its hegemony. There's no doubt.
Right, right. So let's just keep an eye out on these like Fed pivots, you know, because I think that raising rates is just, it's over, right? They're just not going to be able to do it. You know, I'm also, you know, just so many things. But you know, again, I think that because no one knows for sure what's going to happen, the best thing that we can do is diversify.
Right. Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
If we hold all of our money in dollars, but then gas goes to 7, 8 bucks a gallon, you know, and the dollar's getting more debased, more devalued, but at that same time, Bitcoin is going to go up. The dollar gets devalued, Bitcoin's job is to take over. And we're going to watch it happen. We've been watching it happen in real time. And, you know, part of me is just, I'm super concerned, you know, all the things, but I'm also excited, right?
Right. No, absolutely.
Because
It's,
we
I
got
mean,
some,
we say it every week when we're together. It's even with all the chaos, it's also still a very exciting time.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, I'm definitely keeping an eye on the credit, everything. Like, you know, we could have a credit crisis coming. We print more money, we raise these rates, we actually have to pay that debt back on higher rates. So it's going to be interesting to watch. But again, I think this is the best use case, in my opinion, for Bitcoin, because I don't really care how much one Bitcoin is worth if I have no sovereignty, because Bitcoin gives me sovereignty and you cannot put a price tag on that.
No, absolutely. I agree. Undoubtedly.
So with that said, if you're on the run and you gotta go quick buy land, get a house, you need a quick notary on the go, what are we gonna do?
Oh, we're going to call Barkley Mobile.
We sure are gonna call Barkley Mobile. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Boom, done. In your pajamas, anywhere in the United States, markleymobile.com, right? And if you got Google, you're panicking, you want to convert your system into Linux, you want someone to monitor your system, who are we going to call?
Of course, Mary. Mary with computerdiva.biz, the saving
That's
grace
right.
of technology. Thank you. Yeah. We're super fortunate to have those two amazing women, help sponsor our program here.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So we appreciate you guys. Thanks for all your help. I know there's folks that have been reaching out, and yeah, just keep reaching out, and we appreciate it. And we got a class coming up at the end of the month. We're going to do a Q&A. I think we're going to do an update on adoption for all the X coins, so stay tuned. We got to get that on the calendar.
Yep. Now that you're back
And,
home, get settled in here.
Yeah, yep. So I'm going to start up some crypto meetups soon as well. So stay tuned. I'm just landing and getting everything together.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, until next time, this will be out tomorrow on Friday the 13th. We'll see what the world holds for all of us. And this weekend is the eclipse. So everybody just lean into what's in the ethers here. We'll see what's going to happen. Just we'll see what portals are going to open. Let's put it that way. Not about what's going to happen, but eclipse energy is always powerful stuff. So we're in a really powerful window. So
yeah,
and
no, for sure.
Yeah. So until next time, what do we say?
HODL'on.
Your hosts for Two Women in Crypto are Andrea Caldero and Kelly Lair. You'll find more information and details regarding the Two Women in Crypto membership, educational and informative class and event offerings, and more via their website, twowomenencrypto.com. Both Andrea and Kelly are available for speaking events and offer private consultations focused on helping individuals navigate the future. Until next time, HODL'on.